Hi friends, hi family, I hope you are well. We meet again for a new video on your channel, Barça Spotlight. Thank you to all those who have already subscribed and all those who subscribe to our channel. If you like the content, do not hesitate to share it with your loved ones. The Olympic Stadium in Montjuic observed a respectful minute of silence before the start of the Barça-BENFICA match in memory of Dr. Carlos Miñarro, who died suddenly last Saturday during the Barça team's training camp ahead of the scheduled match in Osasuna, which was eventually postponed due to the terrible news. FC Barcelona asked UEFA for permission to pay tribute to their doctor, and the European body finally agreed to allow the tribute to take place. As flags were flown at half-mast and Pau Gasol's song El Cant dels Ocells played, the fans gathered in the Olympic Stadium remained silent in memory of the Barça doctor. On the Barça bench, Dr. Pruna was seen looking at the scoreboard, where a photo of Dr. Miñarro was displayed next to a black crepe. Within the club there was no doubt that UEFA would give a positive response, given that Dr. Miñarro was a member of the first-team staff, and his death had a huge impact on the Barcelona squad, the club, and the Barça fans. In fact, even last Saturday's league game against Osasuna was suspended. Second leg of the Champions League round of 16. Raphinha made it 1-0 in the 12th minute after a great play by Lamine Yamal, who left an opponent sitting and sent a golden ball to the Barça winger, who caught it in midfield. But in a state of maximum grace, the Brazilian made it 3-1 with some suspense in the final stretch of the first half, because the referee had initially disallowed it. Another great gallop from Balde, who leaves the ball free so he can launch another shot with his left foot. Another gift. Raphinha has scored 5 goals against Benfica this season alone, 3 in the treble of the 4-5 in the group stage, another in the 0-1 in the first leg of the quarter-finals, and both in the double. Raphinha becomes the Champions League's top scorer with 11 goals, one more than Borussia Dortmund's Guirassy, and one more than teammate Lewandowski. It is his 27th goal this season, plus 16 assists. He has been involved in 42 of Barca's 126 goals in all competitions. Lamine goal, and Raphinha cleans his boots. The young Blaugrana winger caused a sensation against Benfica with a spectacular goal and pass. He doesn't score goals, he scores great goals and makes moves that thrill the Montjuic crowd. Lamine Yamal puts on a real show against Benfica. In the 26th minute, Lamine sends the ball with his left foot to score one of the goals of the season in Europe. He headed towards Thomas Araujo looking for an angle, and unleashed a powerful and poisonous shot. A goal that is his third in the Champions League, 12 in total since the start of the season. A fascinating goal, which will remain in the memories of the course and which was very celebrated by his classmates. Raphinha was the most explicit. He cleaned his boots in a gesture that explains the admiration after Lamine's recital. Youngest player to score and assist in Europe. The 17-year-old had already warned in the 24th minute with a low left-footed shot that went just wide. He also provided a superb assist for Raphinha for Barca's first goal. It was the 11th minute of the match. On the right wing, Lamine decided to take on his rival, beating him with a bicycle kick and entering the box, where he made a pass into space for the far post where Raphinha, entering freely, pushed it into the net. It was his third assist in Europe this season. Lamine Yamal thus becomes the youngest player in the Champions League to be able to pass and score in the same match. Lamine Yamal's most magical performance catapults Barça into the quarter-finals. The youngster annihilated Benfica with an assist for Raphinha and a curling goal that makes comparisons with Messi inevitable. After a run from Balde, the Brazilian sealed the victory and is now the top scorer in this Champions League with 11 goals. Dortmund or Lille are already looming on the road to Munich, still far away, but getting closer to an unchallenged Barça that thrashed Benfica 3-1 in an afternoon of anthology for Lamine Yamal. It took half a match for the Portuguese to capitulate to the unstoppable football of Barça, crowned by a memorable performance of the boy, who scored a superb goal and served Raphinha, who then sealed his double. A fast-track ticket to a quarter and an incomparable tribute to Dr. Carlos Miñarro. Hansi Flick's plan was not a surprise, nor was Bruno Laga's. the German opted for Araujo, as he had done with Daluz after Cubarsi's expulsion, to form a tandem in defense with Inigo Martinez, and he maintained his confidence in Olmo, who is starting for the fourth consecutive time. Facing them, an ambitious Benfica with Pavlidis up front, the return of Florentino to bring solidity to the midfield, and the Swede Dahl, replacing the suspended Alvaro Carreras, and a godsend for Lamine Yamal. The initial scenario of the Portuguese was predictable, pressing high with Orsnes and Pavlidis' line after the departure of Inigo Martinez and Araujo. Intelligently, the Flick team minimized the risks. Patient, and not afraid of not having the ball. Because by coming out well from the back and looking for Olmo or Lamine, Lisbon's oxygen would diminish. The winger threatened first by combining with Lewandowski. First warning. There was no other piece than Celestial that inevitably arouses comparisons with the greatest genius in history. Lamine caught the ball in the three-quarter area Florentino faced him, but he left it on the turf with a masterful break, continuing to drive with his left foot and sending a brutal pass. Raphinha, at the far post, volleyed a shot that raised his fingers to the sky in memory of Dr. Miñarro. The Blue and Reds' lead lasted 2 minutes. A corner from Schelderup was headed by Louis, but Araujo let his guard down on the score and Otamendi equalized. The 1-1 had no impact on Barcelona. The Blue and Reds' lead lasted 2 minutes. A corner from Schelderup was headed by Louis, but Araujo let his guard down on the score and Otamendi equalized. The 1-1 had no impact on Barcelona. After the Ramadan hydration break for Lamine, Aktürkoğlu and Koku in the 15th minute, already after sunset at 6:52 p.m., Barça took a step forward by invading the opposing half of the field under the command of Pedri, who became Xavi again, Iniesta, Laudrup, and even Davids. His recovery, going down and hiding the ball until reaching his own corner to give it to Szczesny, lit up the crowd, who indulged in chants for the Canarian. Olmo was another key player as an anchor, accelerating the game with verticality at the beginning, and always making the best decision between the lines. The player from Igaro, very close to Dr. Miñarro, was close to scoring the 2-1 after a brilliant action by Balde, immeasurable and comparable to that of Alphonso Davies, who annihilated Barça on the 2-8. Flick already has it with Alejandro. A plane to Montjuic. After playing one more day of the competition with a cool head, the locals matured and beat Benfica, but the confrontation in the Champions League and perhaps the first predictions for the Ballon d'Or brought out a Lamine from another planet. Only a Martian, like the native of Rosario who scored 672 goals with Barça, could achieve such a turnaround with his left foot. He faced Thomas Araujo, he deflected the ball outside the area on the right corner, and the rest will be explained to their grandchildren by the radical Benfica fans, who then lit dozens of flares. Sensing the rout, the second half began with a clear Barcelona monologue making Benfica dizzy, already with the white flag in front of the dance of Pedri, De Jong, Olmo and others under the cheers of the fans, capitulating to a Barça that is once again more than a candidate for Europe, while a goalkeeper, a simple spectator of the recital after being a hero in the first leg, celebrated coming out of retirement listening to the chants of Szczesny, Smoker. A few minutes from the end of the Atletico-Barça match on Sunday, Flick reserved Louis, Olmo, De Jong and Lamine to standing ovations to reward Gavi, Ferran, Casado and Fermin, in a final stretch without a goal, playing for what the Cules, hierarchical with different registers, have always wanted. He also rewarded Eric Garcia for ensuring the passage of Inigo Martinez, cautioned to the quarterfinals that already await him. Before that there is the League and the Cup with 2 rounds at the Metropolitano. With this Barca, nobody should rule anything out. Thanks for watching. Thanks also to those who will take 2 seconds to put the blue thumb in the comment to reference. It helps the channel enormously. Do not hesitate to subscribe and activate the bell, if it is not already done. Thanks again. Good luck and see you soon for a new video.